Hello everyone, my name's Surina Taneja. I'm a junior doctor working in the UK. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where today I take you with me on a night shift on the COVID medical rota. So just got to the hospital and about to start a night shift. So this is my... Ooh, that's not nice lighting. Yeah, so this is my penultimate night shift of 5, not in a row. It's like we do 2, then have a couple of days off, and then we do 3. So within the 7 days, there's 5 nights. And this is the penultimate one, so I'm feeling pretty tired. But I thought I would bring you along with me today and see if I can show you a bit about what I get up to on a night shift. I should probably head in, so let's go. Alright, so first things first, I head to Handover. This is where all the doctors from the day team meet to formally hand over patient care to the night team, including outstanding jobs and unwell patients to be aware of. I miraculously managed to find some scrubs in my size and get changed and head to the wards. So I am the ward cover doctor for all the medical wards in the hospital, which means I'm covering pretty much all the wards from level 5 up to 11. There are some surgical patients on those wards, but it's predominantly medical. And I'm gonna be covering all of them. Yay! Handover is important, but even more important is to find a good base for the night. I picked somewhere central to all of the wards, with a good selection of computers to access online records, and crucially, a chair that can double up as a bed. Spoiler. This chair was never used as a bed on this shift. Okay, so here's how the night's going to go. I've been handed over various things from the different teams who are covering each level during the daytime, so I can make my way through those jobs. It's usually things like checking results, possibly reviewing patients that people might be a little bit worried about. So I'll probably be looking up various test results and things for a bit. And then throughout the night, this wonderful device, which is most definitely older than I am, will be going off at various points whenever any of the nursing team want to get in touch with me from any of the wards. So this is a bleep, and it makes one of the most horrifying, oh my god, it's not even 10 o'clock yet. So this is a bleep, and it makes one of the most horrifying noises I've ever heard. It literally gives me nightmares. Usually nurses call, most importantly if there's a sick patient, or it might be to do with queries patients have, things to do with the drug chart and medications. I'm going to start looking up some results on the computer and await whatever things come in through the bleep as well. I spent some time looking at blood results and reports from imaging such as x-rays and CT scans, and thankfully there is nothing of note I needed to act on. This downtime is short-lived of course, because before long... Yep, it's the sound of 1,000 crying souls. I answer the bleep and I'm told there is a patient who is spiking her temperature. After getting a bit more information about her from the nurse, I head up to the wards and assess the patient. This involves doing a full examination, looking for a source of infection that could be causing the temperature. Afterwards, I decide I need to take some blood tests to get more information about why this patient might be unwell. Being a doctor is basically like being a detective. You're looking for clues that might reveal the diagnosis. Okay, so I need to take some blood cultures and some blood tests for a patient. So I have to work out where all the equipment I need is from all of these shelves. And by the way, this storeroom doesn't look like any of the other storerooms on any of the other floors. So every floor is a new adventure. So let's hope I find what I'm looking for. The struggle to find everything I need is real. But eventually I find everything I'm looking for. A wild medical student appears and kindly offers to take the bloods for me. After he's done, I put them in this pod where some next level wizardry takes place and they are magically transported to the lab for analysis. This blows my mind every time. Maybe I'm just too easily impressed these days. The next few hours whiz by, with patients to review, drug charts to write, and of course more storerooms to perilously navigate around. I keep track of the bleeps and jobs as I go along, but of course I find time to hydrate too. Unfortunately, I then get called to see a very unwell gentleman who is on oxygen but struggling to breathe, so I go and assess him urgently. On my way there, I ring my senior to give them a heads up about the situation. Hello again. It's around 4 AM now, I think. Just seen an unwell patient who has got COVID, and they're basically not maintaining their oxygen levels on the oxygen that we're giving them on the ward. the maximum level we can give before you start thinking about whether this patient needs to go to the intensive care unit, which is where the ventilators are, which is where you put a tube down into the patient's airway and a machine essentially has to breathe for them. I had to speak to the intensive care department, spoke to a senior as well, and looks like the patient's kind of holding out for now, but okay, we'll finish the story later.
A few moments later.
I just wanted to talk about how crazy it is how much we desensitize to things when we're working in the hospital. I guess it's a coping mechanism. Not that long ago, if I had been faced with a patient like that who wasn't able to breathe with like the maximum level of oxygen, it would have been terrifying and something you don't really see very often. And now it's sort of something that's happening every single day. Yeah, that's all really, nothing more profound to say. Can't wait for this to be over. I managed to grab a quick bite, but unfortunately things take a bad turn and a cardiac arrest call is put out. So we just had a patient with COVID go into cardiac arrest, which is where the heart stops beating and the body's no longer getting blood. So we have to do like chest compressions and sometimes deliver electrical shocks as well to get the heart beating, to get the blood flowing around the body again. But it's generally not a very successful treatment, and it wasn't successful on this occasion either. So unfortunately the patient passed away. Yeah. It just blows my mind that some people still think this is like a hoax or not as bad as it seems, because it really is. Okay, I think I'll have a little bit of a rest now. Hopefully the bleep doesn't go off again. Just had like 6 or 7 bleeps in the last 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go sort all of those things out now, if possible. The morning passes by in a flurry of jobs such as taking bloods and reviewing some drug charts, but I'm rewarded in the morning with this beautiful sunrise, and finally the shift is over. Yay! I head to Handover, and then it's finally time to head home. Thank God that's over. Oh my goodness. Not now, Ed Sheeran, not now. Oh, so that was a busy shift. I'm gonna have the treacherous drive home now. I did not realise how many occupational hazards I was signing up to with this job. First, it's been dodging this virus left, right and centre for the last almost 12 months. And then it's the drives home. So that was a pretty typical shift. Hope that was somewhat interesting and gave you a bit of an insight into what day-to-day life is. Every day's different. I guess that's something I really like about the job. So yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.